within our youth to ensure that we become proud of who we are, where we are coming from. Now, what is this bill of responsibility? Basically, this is about telling us or trying to teach the youth about the responsibilities that young people acknowledge in the bill to ensure the right to equality, human dignity, life, family or parental care, education, work, freedom, and security of a person. This should not only stop with such forums, where you only come here and then we get served snacks and whatever, and then we talk beautiful things here, and then when we go back to our schools, we don't do that. What is important is that as the two delegates that as delegates that you are here, you are two from each school, isn't it? When you go back to your school, ensure that there is a platform that is opened for some of your colleagues to be able to articulate what you're articulating. Then that is the part of the action that we're looking for. We are also engaging you through competitions because we can see that you are very much competitive. What do we see? We see a country that is failing. We see a country that is not going forward. But we are not aware that the people that are contributing towards that downfall are ourselves.
I'd like for your department to consider them, that the minister not only make an appearance on the first day of school to certain schools, she must constantly, the whole year round, evaluate the situations in the schools so she can get a first-hand experience of what's happening with our schools concerning school violence and etc. And I think it's an honor for you to be meeting me, the future Minister of Education. I just have to point out that before I reach my government, these things should be highlighted so that when I get there, things must be in order as I'd like them to be. Thank you.
Please welcome Peggy Sue Kamalo.
To everybody present here this afternoon, the Honourable Minister of Education. You know, the most important thing, and I think again at school, it is important as young people, if you do come across a young person or a friend or a young person who has a family member who's been affected by HIV and AIDS, be supportive. You know, love them, embrace them, respect them like they're yourself. Because there's nothing wrong with them. The only difference between you and them is that obviously they've got a life-threatening illness that they living with. I have lost very dear people to my heart through the pandemic of HIV and AIDS, and I still have somebody who's very dear to my heart who's struggling with HIV and AIDS. So, you know, and through that struggle and process, I've learned so much, and I've learned to humble myself, and I've learned to just accept them and love them and care for them. Respect respect your parents, respect yourself. That's also very important. Respect your educators. You know, it's a huge thing.
I welcome Melinda Ferguson. She's also the author of Smacked. She'll tell you more. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hey everyone. Thanks, Ilana. Now I've got to talk about drugs. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to do a quick survey. The only thing you've got to bring to the table is honesty. Can you do that? How many of you have ever smoked cigarettes? How many of you partake in the wonderful, noxious, toxic substance called alcohol? Okay, there's a lot more alkies on this side now. How many of you have been given a bit of like green stuff and rolled up that Rizzler, and those two are happily smoking together, all right? How many of you have been offered a line of cocaine at a party? How many of you have stood on the side of the road at like 3 a.m., say Hillbrow, in the middle of the morning, cold winter, in a little mini and fishnet stockings, and got into someone's car and sold your body for a hit of crack? Okay, well, suddenly, you know, you're looking at me and you're probably thinking, what is this woman on? And what is she telling us this kind of stuff for? Because she's like very different to me. Well, you know what? Once upon a time, I was very similar to you. I was someone who, I didn't think I was influenced by the peer group, but I actually really was. I loved being popular. And then, you know, at the same time as being this clever chick, I was also drinking. I started drinking when I was like 10 or 11. You know when parents say don't smoke and then they're like, don't smoke. And you're going like, hey, what are you talking about? So that was me. And then I just thought, well, guess what? I'm going to experiment. I'm going to start smoking a bit of dope. It's going to open my mind. And it did for a while, okay? We had these like addicted to life nerds. Let me call them nerds. They would come to our school and say like, don't do drugs. But I would go like, well, I don't want to be like you, so why would I listen to you? And that's the kind of mentality I had. And part of that was almost, I should say, my downfall, because I was always like too clever for my own good. And I just said, let's just go one more time, and tomorrow I'll stop. And this carried on for like 3 months. So now I'm getting, this little baby's growing in me, and I'm smoking this stuff. And I know that I'm damaging my baby, but there's something much deeper and much more hectic going on inside me, and it's called addiction. I phoned my husband now, he was my husband, and said, let's just leave the baby in the incubator and let's just go get one more hit. That was me. You know, scummy addict that I'd become. That prefect and that amazing person that I'd once been was totally now disappeared. Because this is what happened to me, who thought once, let me just try a hit of something and I'll see what happens. I just worked really hard, and I started taking responsibility, I guess, for what had happened. And I started realizing the choices I'd made were the things that had put me in this place of hell. And I know everyone says to you guys, everything you choose in your life is going to have a consequence, but I swear it's real.
Let's welcome Victor Vermeulen.
Thank you very much. Sound like Elvis. Thank you very much. As you heard, my name is Victor Vermeulen. This is my mom, Isabel. Commonly known as Pinky and the Brain. Otherwise, the geriatric and the cripple. But basically, the only thing that I can move is my head and my shoulders. But I don't know if you saw that painting at the end of the video of that cricket player in blue. Yes? I can't hear you. I thought you are future. Geez, our future looked like, I don't want to be there. Yes! That's better. But anyway, I love coming to these conferences, speaking to people, motivating people, meeting new people, seeing new places. I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. But I realized I can't stand. But what you can easily see in life is only a small percentage of what is possible. Imagination is having the vision to see what is just below the surface, to picture that which is essential but invisible to the eye. We all have the ability to achieve this. But nothing worthwhile in life comes without hard work, and people who sow seeds of kindness, loyalty, hard work, enjoy a perpetual harvest. But there's one more ingredient to the success of an individual, a school, a society, a country, and that's love. And only then will we grow from strength to strength, take that step up to the next level, and be proud to call ourselves South Africans.
The outcomes were handed over to a representative from the Department of Education, who committed to further discussion in higher department circles. Going forward, the Big Talk program will be rolled out to other geographic areas.
I just wanted us to all say thank you very much to a very special lady who's done a remarkable amount in a relatively short time within our organization and was very, very fundamental in bringing everybody together today around. So, Shani, if you wouldn't mind just standing up and everybody give her a round of applause. Thank you, Shani.
I hope you're all inspired by today. I think there's something wrong with you if you're not. Please, God, you're inspired to change yourselves and to change your communities. And we give you the chance to change your communities. We're changing our big talk into big action. So write on your forms if you want to become part of the Afrika Tikkun youth, and you can represent your schools as part of it and get your whole school involved in these amazing, amazing projects and make a real change in this country. So I hope you guys will be part of it. Thank you.
To you, thank you very much for your inspiration. I know the work that you do is incredibly inspiring. To my own Amanda, I want to pay tribute to her for this. This is her project. She's basically put this whole thing together from beginning to end. And she's last night at 10 o'clock, and I was at home on phone. She was still at the office talking about preparations for today. So she's a remarkable lady, and I want to pay tribute to you. Thank you very much indeed.
It's going to be an annual occurrence. We had one last year in the Western Cape, another one this year in July in the Western Cape. This is our first Joburg one, and next year we want to do a national one. So we have Joburg and Cape Town on the same day in a video conference between us.
I came here today basically to see what it's about because it's the first time that this has been in Johannesburg as well, and it's been like an honor to be here. From what happened today, I think my expectations were filled.
It was such a positive process for me. I learned so much about the youth, and I learned so much about the challenges faced by different cultures and different people throughout this whole seminar. I do think it should be expanded on because like the youth are our future. I know that's so cliched, but we are going to be the leaders of tomorrow, and I think the only way for leaders to actually lead properly is to create a new generation of leaders.
I just want to see the youth of today become more aware of what we need to do to make society better. And just improve everyone's standard of living and the country as a whole.
I thought it was a very good initiative. I'm very, very glad to be a part of it. It's one of those things where we actually finally get the youth come together and actually communicate with each other.
Personally, I was blown away by the commitment and the intensity of discussion that the students brought. I also thought that there was a cross-section of representation from schools. So I think it was a great success.
Today was an amazing experience. It was a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of energy getting this day together, and it was all worth it and even better than I expected. So I'm very glad that everything came together in the end and everyone enjoyed it. All the youth who came to me afterwards, they said, wow.
All in all, the forum was a huge success, with the youth going home inspired, motivated, and with an added sense of how vital their role is in creating a present and future success of a social South Africa.